What is up, Knights of Vex, and happy Friday to all the Knights around the globe. The Ezra and Mara nerfs are officially in the game, and I've been doing a little bit of testing, a little bit of playing around to see what Ezra could be doing outside of an Ashoka team, and bad news, guys, it's really not good. He is practically useless, and on paper, we kind of knew that he was going to be fully with Spectres, like that was going to be his shtick, is that you got to use him in a full Spectre lineup. I was hoping he had some degree of viability with any other team, but he's literally garbanzo beans without Ashoka or a General Syndulla lead. I mean, he just does nothing. He's actually a detriment to your team, it feels like, unless he takes like one turn where he could pass a turn and do a little bit of health and protection recovery. He does not seem very worth it at the moment, and I'm going to explain why. So we're going to head into game and talk about it because it's very important. You guys should know whether you should reinvest into Ezra, and if you did, or if you have him as an earlier mid-game player, what your next step should be. So, this is my second endgame account. I am thankful enough to have Ashoka and Ezra on my roster, so bringing him back to Relic 10 was a no-brainer for me. He's still one of the best Conquest characters in this game with Ashoka. That's the only difference now. He's not as plug-and-play. He can't be slotted into multiple different teams. He is one of the best. He's just very locked down to Ashoka. So, if you guys look over here, I did end up bringing him back to Relic 10 on both of my accounts because he does get some deflection chance, which increases his dodge. He gets tanky. He's a very annoying character to deal with still on an Ashoka team. So, still a Relic 10 candidate, no-brainer. Just need to have Ashoka now to pair along with because the Relic 10 without Ashoka will not be worth it. But, as we saw with the patch notes, everything is locked down to Spectre. All the benefits to his kit. And what I want to show you is a couple battles in-game of what it's looking like and why he's practically useless. He will never gain stacks of Purgle Migration. It does absolutely nothing. So, I'm pretty sure there was a Stranger team that looks like they got knocked down to number earlier or whatever. So, I'm going to try to find this Kenobi team for now. If I go in, let's say I go with a Jedi Master Luke lead, right? And I'm going with Ezra, Cal, Luke, and let's go with Hermit Yoda because we want to keep Jedi Knight Revan with Satele. And I'll go with one of the newer sets. Let's go with the Max Health and Protection Kron and see how we can do. But I want to show you exactly what Ezra's deal is now. I'm pretty sure he can get insta-killed. So, let's say I go here. I'm going to go first. Maybe I get an ability block, so I'm actually have a faster JMK, or a JML. So, I'll show you guys in a second. But if I go over here, nothing. He does not gain any Purgle Migration. He can't assist. He can't do anything. So, it's just practically useless. Like, let's say I go over here. If I do this ability. He can't assist. I'm going to pass the turn back. This is probably the most useful part of Ezra right now, is I can pass the turn back to another character. But nothing. No resilient defense. No Purgle Migration increasing. He's just practically in exile the entire battle. So, he's not even going to hit that hard in Grand Arena without a full Spectre lineup. So, that is the biggest problem. By far. And he doesn't have instant defeat immunity anymore. So, he's going to get insta-killed by Cat. Can't assist. So, I know a lot of players are going to say, well, you don't normally use Ezra with a JML lineup, so what's the point? Well, not every earlier mid-game player that had Ezra unlocked had Ashoka. So, yeah, they had other uses for him. And I'm trying to figure out what you guys should do going forward with this change. And it honestly, that's not looking that good. It's not looking that good. So, waiting to see if Cat... She's probably going to waste the insta-kill on JML anyway. But this is the whole point. He's not adding much to the team at all. So, I'm not a big fan of, obviously, the change. Obviously, I'm going to probably do well here. I have really good mods on my JML. But he's not going to hit nearly as hard. I mean, that's tickling. You've seen how Ezra can hit in a Grand Arena game mode. It's simply just not going to be a thing. So, this part is over. This part of Ezra's plug-and-play viability is over. And if you guys are wondering about Rey, I'll do another quick battle again. The normal Rey lineup that you're going to see is going to be like Rey, Ben, we can do Cal, maybe we do, obviously, Ezra, and let's throw in Galactic Republic Barriss, who's a very obnoxious character on a Rey team, very, very strong. And let's go with the same exact Datacron, just for fun, and just show you what it would be like. So, obviously, with Ben, you can gain instant defeat immunity in the beginning, but him not being able to gain those stacks of Purgle Migration to give Exile, do his whole thing, is just practically makes him useless. So over here, let's just go for a little funsies. Obviously, they waste the insta-kill, but I'm pretty sure that a regular Emperor Palpatine Starkiller team, like an early game Starkiller team, will be able to take out a Rey Ben Ezra even easier than it was before. I know there was ways to mod for it, but it's practically going to be just absolutely useless. Like, that does nothing. It just does speed down. I don't even think it's giving Foresight out to, I think you need a Spectre on your team to give Foresight. I could be wrong about that. But him not being able to get resilient defense is just neuters his entire thing as the plug and play. No Purgle, no resilient defense. He's not taunting or tanking. I feel like he's not adding much to the team. But this is the only thing that I can think of that adds much to the team, is this cleanse and passing of the turn. But he has riposte, but it's not really like doing anything, because like he's not taunting and he's not attacking at a turn. So it's just like, it's very, very it is what it is. It is what it is. So I wanted to showcase it that, yeah, he's not going to be good with the 2 GLs anymore that you're thinking of. And I'm pretty sure he just got blown up, or he might have gotten insta-killed, whatever. You guys know the deal. So what I'm recommending you guys do is, if you have Ezra in your roster, highly consider going for Galactic Legend Ahsoka, because in all fairness, she gets a lot of heat, but she's not bad. She's one of the most defensive GLs in this game all the time. She's always on defense, whether it's with Wat Tambor or Ezra. She's always a defensive viable Galactic Legend, so she's not bad to go for. She has an event, by the way, that gives you some sort of resources. I don't know if we had it today or was it yesterday. Pretty sure it was yesterday that we had the event, so I can't showcase it, but you do have that benefit. She's pretty good in territory battle. She can practically auto every mission, and in territory war, she's practically a huge decider of who's going to win or not, because of how overpowered the Omicrons are on Hera and Sabine and Wren. So if I were you guys, if you have him in your roster, you might as well finish the rest of the party. These tokens are significantly cheaper. Significantly. And you could utilize these to your advantage. You could actually go for the GL Ahsoka farm a lot faster than you think. Obviously, the Relic 9s are a little bit expensive. Some of the characters are kind of hard to get, but it's way easier than it has ever been before. These tokens are super, super clutch. This is obviously my endgame account, but if I were to go to my free-to-play account really quick, I could utilize the tokens on a Spectre team. So if I was here, what I would do is, he's not going to be useful in any other team. Try to form a preliminary Spectre team and work towards Ahsoka. You have other benefits to it. She's a solid Grand Arena defensive team, practically top 5 in the game. Does she have some non-GL counters? Absolutely. Did they make them a little bit harder? Sure. But here's the funny part. We're going to get into the next part of this video, which is going to be really fun, about the counters to this new team, and that their so-called buff to Ezra and nerf to Rey is going to fix things for them. It's not going to fix anything. So, but we'll get to that in a second. But over here, obviously Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum is needed for Relic 9, but you could use a token on Hoyang, you could use a token on Padawan Sabine, token here. All these characters are token available, and it's significantly cheaper, so you can bang out a whole Spectre team in like a month or two with Lightspeed tokens. It should not be hard. And if you go for the 4-star on the marquee characters for the current era, you're going to get even more Lightspeed tokens. So if you go ahead and look at the GL Ahsoka farm, which we go over here, it's really not going to be as bad as we think. It really isn't. Obviously, General Skywalker is needed and is very, needed for 501st, and it takes a lot of get 1 currency, but he's a character that many early or mid-game players should have by now, so he's not a bad option. The hardest thing is going to be Cat. Cat will be the hardest thing, so that is the biggest detriment to those players that do not have Ahsoka unlocked, but I feel like Cat is easier to get now because she's improving grounds. You can get her in the Galactic Legends store. When you have all your Galactic Legends, you get that currency. You can get her there. You can get her in the TB currency for get 3. So Commander Ahsoka Tano is getting a little bit easier to farm and get. So besides her, the rest are really not difficult. If you look over here, these are all candidates for tokens. And they're all really good characters. So Barriss, token. Rex, easy. Like, honestly, if I had Ezra on my free-to-play account, I would consider going for Ashoka if I had cap, because she's a very good defensive Galactic Legend, and she's good for other game modes. So I'm going to suggest, if you guys have Ezra unlocked, go ahead and bite the bullet, go for GL Ashoka Tano. You get access to her event, you get a good Grand Arena team, a good TW team, TB team, good Conquest team. It's still a top 5 team in the game. He's just not going to be useful in any other team. That's practically the moral of the story. That's what it comes down to. Now, the next part of this video is going to be, how do we beat this new Ashoka Ezra comp with all the buffs to Ashoka? What's going to work and what's not going to work? So what I want to do is, I have a video, a counter that I've been utilizing for a very long time. And I want you guys to see if it's going to change or not. And I'm not going to show you guys just yet, but quickly, what I want to do is show you guys potential homes on Swoga.gg for this new comp. So we're going to go over here. I have it up and running. So this is what you're going to have to do. Now, there's not a lot of data on Swoga.gg with Ezra with General Syndulla, because not a lot of players do it. So I had to do a bunch of filters here. I had to do it by a minimum relic level of 5. Obviously, there's going to be pretty tough counters. Like 501st is a epic confrontation character team, but the fact that they can beat Syndulla with Ezra is understandable. Malgus is a conquest team. CLS is not that good of a value if you're losing to that. Inquisitors have a Datacron set. So if you're looking at the teams that are beating it, they're mostly very strong. If you're getting beaten by Radis, that's not good, but they're not completely useless is my point. Like, obviously they're going to have counters, but it looks like it's requiring quite a bit to take them out. So if you guys are more in the mid-game section or early game and you have Ezra unlocked, a lot of players might not have access to a lot of these characters. So they're not useless. They're not nearly as powerful with Ashoka, but you could form a secondary team with Ashoka. So I did want to showcase that. And this is a Marin counter. I wanted to showcase, I know we didn't really talk about Marin today. It was really focused more on Ezra because he's more of a powerhouse in Grand Arena, but just wanted to showcase quickly counters that Marin can use on offense that are non-GL related, because her Omicron is turned off against GL. So Zori Finn, that's a pretty tough team that you don't want to, mess around with. You could beat them. Grievous, sometimes Saw Gerrera. The new Bounty Hunter team is actually really good value. The win rate isn't super high, but that's kind of nice. Inquisitors early game, very nice. So not useless. They're still going to have a use. They might not be used in Kyber 1, but in any other division, this is very useful to have. So no complaints here. They can even beat Gungan somehow. That's kind of surprising. 32% win rate. Not the highest, but still possible. Now, what I want to showcase now is, what are we going to do against GL Ashoka Tano with the non-GL department on the counters? And obviously, if you guys have been watching me for a while, I just had a video on them the other day. One of my favorite teams in this game is Grey Mothers. They are simply overtuned. And I know the handsome Welchman Scribe is going to have a lot to say about this, and that I'm trying to get them nerfed, but that is simply not the case. Do not touch Great Mothers. They are a very powerful team that requires very, very extensive modding and turn order strategy. It's not an easy walk in the park. As you can see here, it's a 50% win rate. This is pre-Ashoka buff, so it's not guaranteed. A lot of players try it, but it's not a guarantee. And I've been getting so many questions that, is this still going to work? We're going to showcase it in a minute, but these are the non-GL counters. There's simply not a lot of very high success counters. Obviously, Stranger Maul is going to be high because of the current Focus Datacron that was available. It's gone now. We're going to have to see if it still works. I'm pretty sure it will, but that's a very expensive team. You have a Conquest character, a legendary. It gets a little pricey. That's a very good defensive team as well. Balin is skewed higher because of his Focus Datacron. Without it, it's going to be really bad. Regular Bane, not going to happen. He's going to need Sith Eternal. This is a different variation of Great Mothers. As you can see, the win rates are not good. This is actually surprising to me, by the way. I can't believe Inquisitors had a 54% win rate against the Ahsoka last season. They have a Datacron this set, so it's probably skewed up higher. But that's pretty good to know. I would kind of want to try that out for maybe one of the 5v5 seasons. I had no idea that it was that high. But that's never going to happen on a normal, non-Datacron meta dependent. But as you can see here, the win rates are absolutely trash. This is kind of surprising too for Grand Arena. Zuckuss, I kind of want to give that a shot as well. The banners look kind of trash, but as you can see, The win rates aren't anything special. I can't believe Sign of Django is having that high of a win rate. That's pretty... We're going to have to talk about that and try that, but the whole point of this is that the win rates are really, really low. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to make Ashoka Ezra non-GL proof, it seems like. They want it to be taken out by one of the top teams in this game. Top conquest characters, a galactic legend of its own, epic confrontation, whatever you call it. They want a heavy degree of expensive counter, if you know what I'm trying to say. So, but the premier counter that I want to make sure that I can get to work for the rest of the Grand Arena seasons going forward is always going to be Great Mothers. Not a single legendary character on this team. They're all marquees. They're all Lightspeed token available. One of the best teams in this game. And I've been utilizing it for my strategy for over a year, 2 years now. They are that freaking good. However long it's been. Ever since I've been a content creator, I think a couple months in, Great Mothers was... someone let me know about the Great Mother counter, and I gotta give him credit. So, Livid, you're an awesome guy. Gotta give him credit for it. He's the master chef, but this counter's been great. I've been utilizing it for my strategy. So, what I want to showcase now is going to be a video of me in Squad Arena against a opponent today. And to showcase if it will still work and what the counter-attack damage is going to look like from Ashoka. So, this opponent had a very basic Datacron. It was nothing crazy, but they do have a Relic 9 Ashoka. So, what I wanted to do was like, you know what? I'm not going to put a Datacron myself, just to make it a little bit more skewed towards them. I'm going to give them a little bit more of an advantage. So, let's play this out on 1x speed. I have a whole video talking about this counter specifically in another video. I'll link it in the description down below again. That was the Datacron they were working with. I had no Datacron, so I have all the modding set up correctly. I was able to outspeed Ezra. I have a really fast Great Mothers and Morgan. The rest of the characters are not modded that fast. But the whole point is that this is Squad Arena testing. They don't have Omicrons. I don't have my Omicron, which I think is going to benefit me even more because Ezra, if the strategy works correctly, never even takes a turn. So all his GAC Omicrons does absolutely nothing. So over here, always same strategy. Doom Syndulla, put the Blessed on Spirit, no matter what. So Ahsoka's going to go. Always the same thing. I don't have a Datacron, not going to hit nearly as hard. Boom. Go for the assist here. Go for the Mass Swarm. They all get blind. Now, the buff to Ahsoka is she can no longer be blinded. It does nothing. The most important person to get blind is going to be Ezra Exile. He needs the blind, especially in Squad Arena. In GAC, when you get Frenzy and all the turn meter, it's a little bit different scenario. So over here, next up, Doom Hoyang. I saved the stun. I just want to do a basic. She hits like an absolute unit. Call to assist. Nice damage there. Go for Padawan Sabine Wren. Go for the big Chomp ability. That's a huge assist. Ezra is going to miss with his blind. That's why it's very important to be able to have that. Remove his buffs. Have accuracy modded on Spirit. And game, set, match. 160k crit with a non-Datacron on offense against a Datacron on defense. So the point is, this buff does nothing to this counter. It's still going to work. I highly suggest anybody that does have Great Mothers in their roster that are worried about Ashoka Ezra's to get this counter up and running. And no, CG, you better not touch it because this requires very good modding. And, yeah. But these are her so-called counterattacks. It actually didn't do anything. It's still a 65 banner win. I was worried that those counters would practically ruin the, 65 efficiency. But doesn't seem to be the case. So, anybody worried about this, it still works. Still going to work. Get a Great Mother team. Get their modding done correctly. And, yeah, pretty much that is it. I had one other point I wanted to mention. What was it? What did I want to say? Oh, yeah. What I wanted to say was, if anything, them taking Ezra away from Rey, I feel like benefits me more because now I have a locked-in strategy of, oh, if I know I'm going to outspeed Ezra every Grand Arena match, I'm just going to save Great Mothers for the Ahsoka team in the back. I don't have to worry about I don't have to worry about Rey being with Ezra or vice versa. I could just lock in and always use Great Mothers for Ahsoka Ezra. So I feel like what they did was it made it easier for players to predict. There's no longer that potential back wall is Ezra with Rey or Ahsoka. It's always going to be Ahsoka now. So, if anything, they took away the fun of the guessing aspect. So, they made it a little bit easier. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but That's just my personal take, but I wanted to showcase in the beginning half, what do you do with Ezra now that if you don't have Ahsoka, what your plan should be, and does this counter still work if you're going to go against Ahsoka? So let me know what you guys think about this down below. Do you guys think that this was a good thing for the game? Was it a bad thing? Are you happy that Great Mothers are still working? Is it going to perform the same in Grand Arena? Let me know down below. I still think it's going to be an absolute brainwash and a cakewalk, but that's what I meant to say. Very, very easy stuff. So if you guys are new here, don't forget to hit that sub button. We're on the road for the next 10,000 subs. So going to make a very special shout out video for getting to the 10K mark. I appreciate all of you, but don't forget to leave a like on the video, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel for more content. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. May the Force be with you all. Peace.